So let's look at where we are with the directional signs. The current signs are effective, and we all understand this, the current signs are effective in driving traffic to businesses. However, a number of citizens do not like the current power of the signs. 3, it is time to renew the names of businesses on the existing merchant signs. And 4, there are no signs directing traffic to the Carefree Sundial or Desert Gardens. The proposal, as I go through tonight, is to keep the current business directional signs in place until a new or revised design is agreed upon. No charge to merchants to remain on existing signs pending new or revised signs. Also, new or revised signs will be implemented by August or September or earlier. And 3, fee for names on signs begins with the implementation of a new/revised sign. So tonight I'm asking for a request for spending approval for 3 not to exceed amounts that support 3 different sign issues. One is, the first request is for $1,400 not to exceed to retrofit the bottom 2 panels on our 4 existing sundial signs. And those panels will give a direction to the gardens and to the sundial. Panels will be both removed and remounted by our town crew. The second request is for $2,600 not to exceed to install a sign at Mariachi Center, and the merchants will pay a fee to be listed on that sign at Mariachi Center. The third request is for $2,900 not to exceed to design and install a new sample merchant sign. This test sign will be located on Pima Road, just south of Cave Creek Road. This sign will direct drivers to Carefree and have the following words with a directional arrow: shops, gardens, and sundial. CBA supports removal of 2 merchant signs, one from Tom Darlington Road and one from Cave Creek Road. Merchant panels will be relocated to sign locations closest to their respective businesses. How will success be defined? A general agreement by merchants that new or revised design signs are effective and acceptable. 2, general agreement by citizens that the new signs are not objectionable. And so the merchant signs are currently a work in progress and designed in full collaboration with the CBA. My many thanks to the leadership of the CBA. And the new merchant sign designs are targeted to be approved at the April Town Council meeting and submitted for council approvals. I'd also like to thank the mayor and Councilman Jim Van Allen for their valuable assistance.
Looking for money for 3 signs. Now, correct me if I'm wrong, one's taking the existing, the original sundial metal sign structure, the mini sundial, and changing some of the wording, right?
Yes, correct. To provide a direction to the sundial and
You're
the
talking about
gardens.
adding 2 panels to the sundial?
Well, no, replace it.
Replace it.
Right, yeah.
Not add.
The
We're not adding.
panels that slide in
Yes.
to the 4 mini sundials. So you're looking for money for that.
Correct.
Okay, and then the other sign is, I see Mariachi Plaza. And why would we put that sign on Tom Downington and Everglade? When Mariachi Plaza's address is on Cave Creek.
Well, the mayor,
That's the back end. That's the back end.
Yeah, but that's the
Mariachi
part where people
Plaza.
really don't see it.
But the area that was selected was where there was the jungle of aprons.
that location for Mariachi Center, and Mayor, you might want to talk to that because I think you're part of that selection.
Okay, well, one more question, and I don't care who answers it, they're part of the committee. The one on Pima. Now, why are we putting one down on Pima?
And Mayor, you might want to answer that question because
He might
you were part of that selection process and I was not.
One of the things that I'd like to accomplish is, if we're going to change the design of the current signs, put up a prototype of whatever we're going to change them to, so the merchants and the citizens both can see in real life, this is what our new sign will look like. Originally, I wanted to put up a new sign at Mariachi Plaza on Tom Darlington Road that was the same size as the current very colorful signs. Howard Bertram has convinced me that that size will not work in the existing space there. Another member of the council, I believe it was the vice mayor, said, why don't we put a sign over on Pima Road that directs traffic coming up Pima down to the gardens and the sundial? There's nothing up on Pima Road directing people down to Carefree Town.
And town center.
That's an opportunity to put up a new sign that will look like what the existing signs will be transformed into. So people, we can tell the citizens and merchants, drive out to Pima Road, take a look at this sign, let us know if you like it or not. It'll also solve the purpose of getting people coming up Pima to know that's where the gardens and sundial are.
Right.
Problem with Mariachi Plaza is that project, the entire development is currently bank owned. And the merchants in there have no chance of getting a monument sign on private property, working with a bank while it's
Right.
Councilman Van Allen has talked to those merchants, and they have agreed that 4 of them will probably help fund the sign, a permanent sign, saying this is where we are. It does 2 things for us. Number 1, it gives us a permanent sign, and it gets rid of their A-frames, because I would have an agreement with those people who now can put out A-frame signs during the day while they're open, say, if we'll put up this sign, you'll help pay for it, and you'll also not use your A-frames. So we solve a big problem with A-frames for people who are lost.
Holly Bergman, owner Wild Holly Gallery, owner of 22 Easy Street. Marty, to your questions about what are we doing with the signs, why are they there, are they effective? Yes, they are most certainly effective, and every merchant that is on that sign chose to be on the sign and paid for it. We have open slots, and we have slots that are being used by a restaurant that is closed. So we have open slots, availability. There's no fighting among the merchants on who's going where and when. And I will tell you also that we have worked very closely with Councilman Farrar. Unfortunately, Joe is not here tonight, but I'm speaking for her as well. We have looked at many designs. We have looked at designs that will certainly represent all our merchants in town the way they are represented now, and also certainly not offend the 1.6% of our constituents who do not like the bizarre or carnival or colorful look of those signs. However, in whatever state they are with a merchant's name on them, they are outrageously effective. They are bringing people into town who are heading down Pound Arlington and Cave Creek Road. I was told by a merchant yesterday who was leaving town, going to Cave Creek, don't put the signs back up because I want people to come to Cave Creek.
Well, no, Mayor, have you seen this, any of these designs?
Yes.
Are you satisfied
I've
with
seen
them?
all of them.
Are you satisfied?
Yes, we are satisfied. In fact, I said to Councilman Farrar when we met, that had we had a photograph of the remake or retrofit of the current sign, I don't think we would have had the entire hubbub that we've had about the signs. Merchants, the merchants that are currently on the signs, and merchants who can't afford to be on the signs are in favor of it because they're bringing people into our town center.